Hello everyone, today we're going to be going over creating teams inside the game with the addition of the Advanced Arena. A lot of people are wondering how they should create their team, who they should go in with. So today I'm just going to give my thought process behind it. Now a couple of quick things here. I got the new cables for the camera, so I might be shooting this in 4K 60 frames. Don't know how it's going to work. So let me know how that looks on the screen for you. The other one being that I created a channel for my puppy biscuits there. Don't know if I'm going to be posting a lot on it. Probably going to be just on the weekends, a quick short. But if that's something you're interested in, want to help the channel out, I'll have it linked in the pinned comment. So this goes for both the Advanced Arena and for just our regular gameplay itself. How do you select a team? What's the best way to go? Now I kind of have a set way of how I like to do things. I like to go in with 2 strength characters. And you can see here, we're going for Babu. He's one of my all-time ones. And the other one being Kion. One's a tanker, one's a dealer, but both they fall under that strength class. Even though Kion doesn't actually fall underneath that whole tanker class, I still find he's pretty solid, pretty tanky. I don't know if that's just because I got him so cranked up in stars, but either way, these are 2 of them that I like to go for. For the other 3 heroes, I'm either going to go one of 2 ways. 2 intelligence and an agility, or 2 agility and an intelligence. Right now, I'm being a little risky and not going for the fact of having any healer inside the game. Lulu as one, and then the other one is going to be Dexter. So both of them being supporters where they're going to kind of assist with it with minimal healing inside the game. But I'm going for Lilith on this one here. You can see dealer, agility down on the bottom. This seems to be a pretty good one to go for. Now, sometimes I will go through and switch out with Milia here because she also falls under the same thing. Easy just to pull the gear off one, put it on the other, and go in with her. I do this mainly judging by what enemy team I'm going up against, or if I go in with Lilith and lose, I'll swap on Milia and give that a try. So how did I come up with this 5-man team? Well, for the most part, I got Babu started up pretty easily, and same thing with Dexter. So those were 2 of them I've been using since the beginning. I've just kind of really found the ways of liking to use them. There will be times I do switch them out, but still, these are kind of the ones I know because the game's going to give you heroes that you have, and it's going to be different for everybody. So don't feel like just because somebody's going with one army, you should be trying to match that based by, if you have different star levels. Now, Kion is one that I have been chasing after. I didn't really get a lot of them right away, but I've been grabbing him from the B shop and trying to level this up because I find he works pretty well for my playstyle. And Lulu to accompany him with those attack boosts really seems to work out. Now, in the situations where I was going 2 intelligence and 1 dealer, I was using Dexter as my dealer there. I was dropping out Lilith. I wasn't really using her. I just recently got her started up to at least where she's showing some results. But before that, I was going Almond, who is a solid healer, especially when everybody's touching him. And then the other one, obviously, we were going for Lulu too. So I do recommend you use your highest star heroes. And as I said, Lilith, we have her at 3 gold, 8 stars to be, politically correct. But I find with these dark and light heroes, they tend to do a little bit better than another matching hero at the same star level. So don't be scared to use those guys either. And as far as Milia, I never used Milia for the longest time, and as eventually I got her start up higher, and you see her sitting in the top 5, now I use her more. And this is what you guys should do too. When you get a hero that's able to get started high enough, try it out, see how it works inside your team, and kind of build that team around it. There's nothing saying that you have to go 2 strength and then 1 agility and 2 intelligence, or 2 strength, 2 agility and 1 intelligence. This is what I just find works really well for me, and it's pretty easy to switch the gear around if I just have to dismantle all for 1 hero and put it on the other one, versus going and just re-leveling up all my heroes. So that pretty much takes care of one of my 3 teams. If we're looking into the Advanced Arena here, we'll just switch out Milia here and throw in Lilith on it. Where are you? 3 stars. 3 stars, 8 stars. I'm never going to get that right. Looks like I got Lilith on team 2, so I'm going to pull her off of there. We're going to go back over to team 1 or team 3, and now we'll pop her in on that. Formation is going to be another big thing. You can see that I have Lilith touching Dexter, which is going to give her those adjacent ally bonuses. And we got Lulu and Kion touching also. I am keeping Babu separate on it just in case I do need to split up the enemy, and in hopes that maybe they got a Delicass that's on that side of the screen, so we're not getting that chain going through. But that's the thought process behind it for at least going in with my defense deck. But that still leaves us with 2 teams and 10 heroes. Now, what I tend to do on these other ones is I have 2 tanky heroes or 2 strength heroes that I threw some stats on. And then I also took 2 agility heroes that I threw some stats on. So the ones that I have some gear on it, so let's level it up, is going to be Zenon, So we'll put him right in the front. And the other one that I decided to go to was for Olga. So we'll pop her here too. And you can see we got gear on her. I just kind of capped it out at level 40 for all the gear. So nothing crazy, but still something to, at least soak up some damage and do some damage. For the damage dealers themselves, that's where I went and threw some gear on Fleda. We have her leveled up a little bit more on the actual sword there. That's at 57. Probably going to try to balance those all out at level 60 if I can. And the other one is going to be Milia here. You can see I have all of her stuff sitting at 60. So that's my thought process for the other two armies. That's how I'm doing it. One tanker that has some gear that's leveled up, and then agility that has some gear leveled up too. For all these other ones here though, I got to make sure that I have some gear hooked up on them. So I'm just going to go auto equip what I can on them. So we'll throw some on Fiona. Who else do we have here? We have Zagraco. I find that the actual dark heroes do perform a little bit better. And I do want to have that second kind of tanker or strength hero out there. And then we have Delicatus here. I'll throw some on him too. So I know I at least have gear on everybody in my one army here. And now we'll go over to the number 2 here. We have Xenon. We got to put our damage dealer out here, which is going to be Milia. We'll get her touching some people to have some crit bonuses for her. We have a tank. We have an agility. I do want to find a second tanker to throw on here, or a second strength, I should say. So let's go down and just for fun, let's throw a Harfa out here just to have him on it. And I'm going to throw a Harfa over on the side. So if we look at Army 1 here, we have 2 strength classes, we have 2 intelligence classes, and then we have 1 agility class. If I go to Army 2, same thing. 2 strength, 2 intelligence, 1 agility. And then we go to Army number 3, which is my holy grail. These are my strong heroes inside here. 2 strength, 2 agility, and 1 intelligence. So with that being said, I got my armies out there, but I didn't really explain how I picked them. So Babu and Kion, we know they're my strongest ones that I have for stars. Dexter has a great for that adjacent hero bonuses, and when he dies, he's going to go and give extra attack to my strongest hero. I do like Lilith. I like her self-heal. I like those waves that she shoves out. And then Lulu, obviously, for her attack bonuses. For Army number 2, Xenon, just pretty much good in stars there, so that's why I got some levels behind him. And then Milia, obviously, she's ranked pretty high, and she's doing pretty good for levels too. But as far as the other 3 in this Army number 2, I'm a huge fan of Alman. I haven't been using them that much, but I like that healing over time, and I like the additional bonuses for adjacent allies. Harfa, on the other hand, I'm not a huge Harfa fan, but still I like the actual awaken skill there of when he does die, he will revive after 2 rounds, so I figured that might be a good thing to have inside this advanced arena. Really, any of the heroes that are able to heal up or, revive somebody, Selena, even Odelia, or even Zagraco there like we said before. There's nothing more annoying than when you kill an enemy and they just pop right back up and are ready to do more damage to you. Adina, on the other hand, this is one you don't really see a lot of people talking about, but I do like that freeze inside the game, and I do like having it hit the back row of heroes. I find that pretty good, especially when we can freeze somebody back in there, because that's where a lot of the damage dealers are going to be, unless there's a Kion out there sitting out front. For Army number 1, we have Olga, and we do have Fleda out there. We talked about that already. I did throw Zagraco out there. Like I said, the revive, I find that very annoying. And then we have Fiona out there with her hypnotic scent there. I find that to be pretty useful when an enemy hits, they get put to sleep. That can really help with the crowd control. And Delicatus, obviously a beast when he goes and has that chain attack. Nonetheless, when he's the last hero sitting around and going into that kind of super overload boss state. Now, these are the heroes that I have set up in my defense deck right now. And as far as do I have to keep these teams the way they are? No, I don't. I can swap them around based by what I'm going up against. So if I want to click on one here and let's just see somebody, I'm at 8,200, let's call it roughly. Let's go and see what this number 6 looks like for their attack. So it looks like they're leveled up pretty good for their heroes. At least they have a Kion out there and a Milia that have some levels on them. Let's see what we got on number 2. They're spreading pretty good for their actual stats on there. And number 3, do they have anything at all? 3 seems to be their weakest. So what I'm going to do here is probably go and take my number 3 army. We're going to unhook these guys. I'm going to go over to my number 2 army, and we're going to pop these guys on here. So let's go throw Kion. We'll throw Babu out there. And then we will go throw Dex. We will throw Lulu. And then the last one we'll throw is Fleda. So we'll get this set here. There is a Sanders out there. They got a Lulu also. And I think that seems to be pretty decent. So now going back to army number 3 here, we'll pop our Milia out here. And I do want to keep people separated. They have a Delicace there, so if anything, I don't want to have that out on the board. And I do have people scrambled around here pretty good. So the fact that I have my heroes and I know I have a couple of them level up, I'm just going to call it a loss on stage number 1. So coming down here to stage number 2, I want to throw somebody with some levels on. So we know that we have Xenon, we have him leveled up, and we also have Olga leveled up. I'm going to throw Olga over here, just so if Delicace does hits, or even Calyx hits there, I can get that counter attack on him. Better yet, I'm going to switch them. I'm going to keep Olga over here on the right side, and that way we can go and have some crowd control effects and not have to worry about those. So let's go and tuck up our Milia up there. I'm also going to throw Fleta on here. And better yet, let's put a Almond right here too. So we'll get Almond out there with the healing and we'll see how this works. And that leaves us with number 1 as our trash army. So we'll throw everybody else that we had. Zagrako and then a Harfa. So I'm going to put Zagrako right in front of Kion there just because I know he's going to be going and reviving. It'll hopefully keep Kion on that. So let's see how it goes. We're definitely going to lose battle number 1. So as I called it there, round 1, that's going to be a loss on things. So now we'll see how we do on round number 2. Hopefully we can win this and just call this one a win and then take it into round 3. So it did start off a little bit rough there. My wife came out with the dogs and everything, so I'm probably not going to throw that audio in there. But you can see we are finally catching up on it. It was a little rough at first. They were kind of throwing shields out. I wasn't really doing damage, but once I got some of those stacks on Lulu, it was good to go. So now we're on to the third one here. Fleta taken in, Xenon going on. We'll have to see how he goes and provokes there. We just got shocked on Milia. And that's not going to do too well for our Milia. So hopefully we can get some other attacks here with Fleta. So you can see there, we won that one. We lucked out on it. So it was really not only a matter of picking the team. I mean, the ones that I have seem to be pretty solid. I like those heroes. But if I do see somebody up I'm going to go up against that's going to be a direct counter for the heroes that I have, I might go and switch them into another army, or I might just take them right out and put it on another set of stars. But I think if you look at your top 15, top 20, and use a majority of those, and then if you see somebody's outside of that, like I have Lilith, you know, kind of test things out and see where it goes. But I'm a big believer of going in with those 2 tanks or 2 strengthers, and then going and picking either 1 agility or 2 agilities, and then leaving that last one for 1 intelligence or 2 intelligence. If you are new to this game, there's so much more than just going and saying, oh, I'm going to pick these 5 and go at it. You really need to know what enemy heroes are using for their attacks and what their skills are. So I really try to suggest that you learn them, read about them, give them a shot yourself and see how it works. And then you can kind of base by your formation of what you're going and placing them so you don't get hit by that chain effect of Delicace. So you don't get hit by all 3 of the row of the Kion that's the other team. So there's really no easy answer for that besides having the experience of just learning and playing the game. So I hope that gives a little bit better of an explanation of how these things work and what you have to do inside the game. And really, it's what's working for me at the moment, and I can't complain too much. So if you guys want to know more about the Halloween event going on right now and the one strategy that you really need to know about it, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.